Okay, this is a tutorial on your Paris Map Tour activity part 2. We just finished up with part 1 in which we were using an activity starter. Now we're going to be using a web viewer. The activity starter is an important component because it provides access to any other app on the device, but there's another way to build a tour guide that uses a different component. Instead, the web viewer is a panel you place directly within your app that behaves like a browser. You can open any web page, including Google Maps, in the viewer, and you can programmatically change the page that appears. So we're going to look at this here. Before going on, we're going to use the Save As feature to make a copy of our Paris map. And what I named my second one is going to be with a web viewer. So here's my last application that we built with the activity starter. I'm going to change this. I'm going to say Save As. And at the end, I'm going to change it. Instead of activity starter, I'm going to do web viewer, so I know that this is a different project and is doing a different feature there. So it says here, in the designer, delete the activity starter component, and then from the user interface, drag in a web viewer component and place it below the other components. Uncheck the screen once scrollable if we've done that. Okay, so right now we need to go back into our App Inventor program. We need to delete the activity starter. We're going to delete the activity starter, and then from the user interface, we're going to drag in a web viewer. It is not a non-visible component, and it will take up the bottom portion of your user interface. We'll probably want to adjust this around a little bit so that we get a little more real estate down here with this second web viewer. So let's do that right now. I'm going to take my image 1 and I'm going to shrink it up a little bit so that I have some more room. I'm going to take my height and then I'm going to change it to, let's say, what 100 pixels look like. And then I'm going to take my width and I'm going to do that by 100 pixels as well. And that might shrink it over a little bit. This will give me some more real estate here to show my application. Okay, on your computer, browse HTTP, Google Maps, search for a landmark, zoom into the place you desire, choose street view if you want or regular view, grab the URL. Okay, we're going to do that next. So we're going to go to Google Maps. We're going to search for a landmark. So I'm going to search for a landmark like the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so here's my Eiffel Tower. I'm pretty zoomed in. I'm going to grab this URL right here. I'm going to copy that link. So I'm going to use that to initialize a global variable. So in my blocks editor, I will need to get a new variable. I'm going to do this variable called URL. I'm going to make a list. And we're going to have, let's put 3 items on here. Put a Hopefully that works for Eiffel Tower. Let's pick up 2 more landmarks. Okay, new landmarks. Let's go with maybe let's go with Mount Rushmore. Going to try a satellite view on this one. And take my URL, copy that, and place it into the second. Now, this next, when I make a list, this destination has to be changed to match up with where we are going. And then our final one, let's look up maybe, say, no, not that. The Statue of Liberty, maybe. Looks pretty good. I'm going to grab this URL. Okay, we need to modify the list picker.after picking behavior. In the first one, the after picking behavior set the data URI to a combination of a https maps.google.com query to your destination that you chose. In the second version, the after picking behavior must be more sophisticated because the user is choosing from one list of destinations, but the app is choosing from the URL list of the URL. Specifically, when the user chooses an item from the list picker, you need to know the index of that choice so you can use it to select the correct URL from the list. So our indexes, it's important that these match up, like I was mentioning here. At index 1, this is the Google Map location for the Eiffel Tower. So that index 1. For index 2, it's Mount Rushmore. And for index 3, it's going to be the Cathedral of Notre Dame. So we need to make sure, no, third one is Statue of Liberty, sorry. So once we have our list picker, we're going to do a selection of the index. We're going to select the item. We're going to get the global URL, and then we're going to go to that website. So it looks like this right here. So go into our list picker. Well, we have one right here after picking. So we are set. We are ready to go. Then we're going to call our web viewer to go to a URI or URL, sorry. We're going to select items from a list at an index. The index is going to be your list picker. Your selected item is going to be your URL. So we're selecting from this list of URLs, but we're selecting based on the element's position. Okay, this is where we have a chance to test our app to see if we've done what it's supposed to do. Okay, it looks like our user interface has been adjusted. Let's choose it. Oh, we probably want to change that label around because these are not just Paris destinations. Let's check out the Eiffel Tower. Hopefully inside this web viewer component, we pull up and we do the Eiffel Tower right in here. It's nice. It's able to be used like that. Let's back up to, oh, that might not be the best. Okay, Mount Rushmore pulls up. And you can see that we have a satellite view selected on this one versus some of the other ones. So Statue of Liberty, I think, as well as is going to be a satellite type view. And whereas our view of the Eiffel Tower was not a satellite type view. Okay, so you can see that you have your web viewer component coming up within the application that you built. Let's check our specs real quick, make sure we're set. This is your completed app right there. Now then, these are some variations that are suggested to try. These always help expand your knowledge, give you a little bit more familiarity with the basic components of your App Inventor program. So it is always a good idea to expand your knowledge and to try some of these variations. All right, that's a little tutorial on your